welcome to Coding After Work.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We've been...
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah.
And for some reason, all events we get invited to are on Thursdays. So
That's odd, because that's really what's happening.
I know. And we do have some invitations that is also on Thursdays. That is not official yet, but yeah, it's it's probably a good day for streaming.
Yeah.
So what do you do? So what has been happening?
Let's switch over to my computer and let's take a look. So, .NET Conf, the release of .NET 6 with and Visual Studio 2022.
Mm-hmm.
All of that goodness from November 8 to 11.
Yeah.
Hope you watched those. And we had talks.
We did. You talked about, you had friends on your talk.
I did.
We had the Engstrom
I was
hour.
like, wait a minute, did I have friends?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, so I talked about Bluetooth and robots and scales and
kitchen
all
scales.
Of that, all of that good stuff.
And I have been putting the URLs in the chat.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you talk about?
I talked about UX and accessibility. As much as you can cram into 30 minutes. Because it was short sessions. And I think that's good when it's online. Sometimes it's hard to keep focus. Listen for ages.
And one of the things that I really enjoy in your talk is that you talk about for these kinds of accessibility features as something that not only people with disabilities needs, but also, for example, you can carry around your child, for example, and then you only have one arm and all of
temporarily disabled if you want. So what I really like is to stop thinking about it as a disability and start thinking about a way to include more people.
But I see it as features that everyone can benefit from.
Yeah, exactly.
And on that note, well, we're going to talk a little bit more, but that is one of the things that I want to implement today.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Web VTT, so video. I don't even know
Transcription
anymore. No, I don't
topics.
think so.
No, I don't know.
Web video text tracks
I wasn't
format.
even close. I
had to write that down just to be made to have that right. So we're going to use that to be able to speed up playback on our podcast, for example, and search and all of that. But we're going to come back to that.
Yeah.
We also have something else that we want to talk about.
We do. Time is just flying currently, and here is the URL to that one.
So we are organizing together with a friend of ours the .NET Frontend Day.
Yeah.
And what's that?
It is a fantastic, and I am not biased in the least, front-end conference. Now, actually, we did this the first year last time. Last year was the first time. So we had amazing reviews. We had amazing speakers. Actually, I think you can see them on the page as well.
Yes, we have down here. You can see the 2021 speakers and also all of the recordings.
Yeah, so we have anything that is of interest for a .NET developer when it comes to front end.
And we already have Maddie.
We do.
On the speaker roster.
Yeah, we do. And we are actually going to sit down any day now and pick a few more. Because it's just one day, so it's not overly...
Only 8 sessions, I believe.
8 sessions, yeah.
And it's, well, we haven't talked about when, but I'm assuming that we're going to have it around the same time, so afternoon.
Oh,
evening.
you mean clockwise, not date-wise.
No,
I was like, what are you on?
Date-wise, February 10th.
Yeah.
So please go in, register, and all of that, and you will get notifications on
Also, if you have any requests or suggestions for specific topics or even speakers, let us know either on Discord or Twitter or in chat, and we can take that into account.
The call for content is open
for the rest of the month. Yeah,
exactly. So basically this week.
We still have time.
There's still time.
Not a lot, but we do have time.
Okay, so let's take a look at what we are going to do today. So let's check our backlog. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do anything on this. Nothing, not this.
It's been a while since we were in this.
And we're going to add search. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I hope we will get to that.
Right. Okay. So I seem to recall that we were supposed to be better when we put in the items here. So add search. That doesn't say much. Is there an explanation?
Yes, we're going to add search.
So you can search for images?
No, we don't have any images.
Oh, we do.
Fine.
We did say we need to be clearer.
Add search.
And I know it's a specific one, right?
That hat.
Yeah,
that.
A search hat. That's from Harry Potter, I think.
Searches. Let's see what we're going to search. We're going to search titles. Descriptions.
And possibly transcription.
And transcriptions. And transcriptions.
We did say we were going to be better with this.
Not perfect.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Okay, and so I have had a little bit of a pet project that I've only kind of showed you briefly.
I have almost no recollection of at this event. And you have been looking into that today while I have been teaching all day. So this is a surprise for me as well.
So what we're going to do, we're going to add transcriptions. Transcriptions.
And this will come in handy for a lot of people with or without disabilities, like we mentioned before.
And we're going to add, actually we're going to show, because I have already done this, show live. Let's see, is that what we're going to do? I think that's what we're going to do, yes.
Okay, so drag them into our sprint. Can you imagine? We're already in sprint 12.
I know, right?
I mean, they are the fastest sprint ever because they're 90-minute sprints.
1.5 hours, yeah.
Yeah, but still.
Okay, so I saw a blog post that I definitely should share, but I don't have it here, to be honest.
Tell me about it. I can Google.
You can Google. Let's see. Actually, let's see if I didn't. I might have put it inside here. Let's just quickly take a look here.
Do we have a blog?
No, I did not.
So what's the blog post about?
So search for something like Twitter cards Twitch, maybe. So let's pop into Visual Studio and I will show you the code because, as I mentioned, that feature's super hard to test unless we are live.
Yeah.
So I did, this is something I did earlier.
How to embed a Twitch stream inside a tweet on Twitter?
Perhaps.
Could it be this one?
I don't know.
Okay. Carry on then.
I'll just link it in the show notes on YouTube.
That's good.
Okay, so with .NET 6, we got the opportunity to, or the ability to add or change the head tag. It was possible before, but it was a little bit tricky. So what I've added here is I've added Twitter image, card. Apparently, I'm taking the image from Facebook. Let's ignore that.
You're so busted. And also, hey, one of my favorite devs. Welcome.
So we added a lot of meta tags for Twitter specifically. We also added an iframe with the Twitch content because when we're sharing that URL on Twitter, that is going to be the link as well. So I want it to be something that if they click it, they will land somewhere. That would be on a page showing the stream. So that's this page. So codingafterwork/live, which is showing the current feed here. Let's see.
Well, now you will get, because you're not logged in, you will get the whole ad thing.
30 seconds. Okay, let's ignore that for the time being. So what I did was that I scheduled a tweet that 3 minutes before we're going to go live, we did that tweet went out, and it looks like this. So it says we are live. All of that is let's see here. Yes, all of that comes from the tweet that I wrote. And down here we say coding after work is live. That is coming from the meta tags. So now
on the page you just showed.
Yes. So if I now click this page, I will get that experience. I will get that that feed, that video feed, right here on Twitter, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is, and it's quite instant as well. Well, now you can see the down.
Unless you're 30 seconds.
Unless you have the commercial.
Okay, 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3. Happy New.
No, that's not.
There we are. Look at that.
There you go.
Hey. No, not yet. Okay, there we go. Now, yay! This is going to be like Inception. It's like, oh, it's talking to himself.
Yeah, it is. Look at that. It just went down even further. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's not what it's intended for, but it's still pretty cool.
It's cool. It's cool. So, what I set out to do today is that I wanted to add transcriptions. And I want to do that not because people with sight disabilities or whatever needs that.
No.
Not necessarily. Not only, exactly. That's awesome. Let's do that. But I want to also do that because a lot of people like to listen to podcasts really fast.
You are one of those. Actually, let me demonstrate what it sounds like when he's listening to podcasts or books. Literally. I have no clue. But you read much faster. Well, you listen much faster if you can read the text as well.
Yes.
It's insane.
And all,
you can wait to yourself.
Kind of getting a couple of words in there using your eyes. And also, by adding another sense, you will learn faster and the retention will be better.
Yeah, and it will keep longer in the brain as well.
Okay, so let's first start with taking a look at Azure. That's not Azure. This is Azure. So there are a million podcast services and all of that can take videos or podcasts and convert them to text.
Do you want to hear something really interesting? They say that if you are having trouble reading and comprehending something, read faster. And that is so true for you. You can't for the life of you read like a regular human being, word by word, unless you have the speed, which the audio actually gives you. That's super interesting.
I remember, I think it was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's one of the books that I've read many times. And I couldn't for the life of me stay awake. And I mean, that's an awesome book. It's not the book's fault. That's a me problem.
Yeah.
And I couldn't for the life of me stay awake. And I remember that the next night I had to kind of read it all over again to see, okay, where did
you lose conscience?
Yeah, where did I still read the book?
Yeah.
But it didn't pass through my brain at all.
Your eyes were moving.
My eyes were moving, the words were
down.
registering, but nothing stayed.
Yeah, I know that.
So what we've done here, I've set up a media service. And when you do that, you need to set up a storage and all of that. And that's just next finish, basically.
And the reason we are using Microsoft Azure is that we are familiar with the Microsoft world.
Yeah. And as MVPs, we do get a little bit of credit on Azure. Yeah. So this is not free, but it's cheaper, at least, for us. But I'm definitely going to test some other services as well to see. Yeah. So one downside with Azure is that it doesn't have speaker recognition. It does have that, but it needs to be trained with the speaker's voice. It's that.
Which is very interesting because I seem to recall back in the day when Microsoft came out with Azure, I think it was the Video or Vision, I don't know which name it had back then, the cognitive service. And they had upload a video and they will tell you that this person talked for this many minutes in this video and so on.
So I believe that's the difference. A video,
they could see them mouth move and
I think so.
Might be. If you want to proofread a letter or document for typing mistakes, read it backwards. You will find typing mistakes easier. Now read my previous sentence backwards.
So what you do is that you go into assets here and you upload an MP3 in our case. And let's see how we got 57. Let's take 56.
So this is our podcast.
Yes. And add job. And then I have a previously designed job that simply is audio transcription. It just gives me the settings, so I don't have to do that again. And create. So this is going out and starting to convert the file into different files. Let's see.
And transcription is something that takes forever if you're going to do it by hand. I think they usually say that professionals do it in like 4 or 5 times the time, the actual episode, because you need to pause, you need to go back, and
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's.
So let's take a look at this episode, for example.
Is that a ready-made file?
This is ready-made file. This is
it already done the work.
Yeah. So what we have here is that we have a storage container. Let's click that one. And everything is bright.
Except for the little tiny sliver of camera you could see. That's from our Lego camera from our other stream, the Married Geek stream, where we do a lot of Legos.
So we got emotions.json. So different emotions, different timestamps.
Oh, okay. So that's incentive. They call it incentives before in the cognitive services. Like this is negative stuff.
I assume so. I don't know if they're analyzing the words that we're saying or if they're analyzing the way we're saying it.
Oh,
not sure.
Interesting. We need to look into that.
Insights, I'm not sure about actually. Let's see if we can just pull that. Actually, we can check that in Visual Studio because I have done a little bit of preparation. Let's go back to the storage. Metadata about the file. Then we have transcript .ttml, which is also some kind of transcript. It's another format. And then we have VTT, which is video text track format, which is which is built into a lot of HTML services. So let's pop.
Oh yeah, that is a cognitive service. So Jeff Fritz or C# Fritz has a sentiment analysis number showing in his theme that shows how positive or negative chat was over the previous few minutes. Yeah, that's a really nice feature. So that might actually be the same sort of insight. There are so many cool cognitive services out there, not only on Azure, but on IBM and Amazon and what have you as well.
I believe I totally failed on checking that one in.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Okay, so what do we do?
Download it again?
That is going to take forever.
Oh, really?
And this is kind of important. So let's, so I don't dox myself, let's go to the camera view, and I'm just going to remote my other PC and check that in. That is not going to take too long.
So we're going to do a dance? No, we already had a clip on you dancing last time.
We're not going to do that again?
So check the clips. He's dancing. That was a we're done dance, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Okay, so I think next time we are going to start to look into a little bit more of accessibility because we have not gotten around to that yet. We have some, but we can always be better. And also, we've said we have a massive backlog of things we need to do. We need to we have other pages we could fix, and for our next project, we will use GitHub instead of Azure DevOps.
Yes.
Just to try it out and see if I can get friendly with Git.
Oh, it's going to be so many profanities in that show.
Just give me chocolate and I will be fine. Okay, so I was thinking it would be cool to have a service that would transcribe phone calls or voicemail messages and send them to me as an email. Yes! But if the sentiment analysis was too low, play an MP3 that tells them they need to re-record the message with happier words. Yes, please! Can we do this? That would be amazing.
Please leave a message after the beep. Yeah, so I would like to talk to you.
Could you please try that again in a happier voice?
But we can actually avoid calls altogether. So could you please call me? And just a bot saying, no, I'm not going to do that. You need to give me a good reason why this is not an email or a chat or something that is not voice.
So, as you can hear, Jimmy is not very fond of phone calls.
I am not.
Please leave a happy message after the beep. Yes, that would be amazing. I don't even know if I have a service like that. I think I do, but I never check it. So I just pretend like I don't have a voicemail. All
right, let's switch back.
Are you done doxing yourself?
I am done not doxing myself.
Oh, right. That's better. That's way better.
It wasn't that bad, to be honest.
Okay.
Okay, so I pulled down all the files from Azure.
The VTT files.
Actually, all the files.
Oh, okay.
So we got Coding After Work, episode 61. No spaces, no dashes, no nothing. Just the name of the episode all the way till the end.
Is that important?
That is important.
Okay.
Yes, because I was trying to, but we stopped naming the episode. Why is this working? But okay, this is the name of the MP3.
Okay.
but the MP3 file has underscores and dashes and stuff like that. The file that I upload has that. The file that libsyn delivers is even worse. So it's gonna make sense in a bit. So here we have emotions. So apparently in this episode with Oren, we were happy. Oh, okay, they have all the different ones. So let's see here. We are. This is really hard to read on one line. Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Sometimes we get that effect.
Oh. So time range in the beginning. We have dominant emotion, joy. That's good.
Yay!
We were happy. We're not that angry. Joy.
Oh, that's good.
So the really cool thing is,
and I don't do neutral either. I'm either or.
and based on this information, we could, while we're playing the MP3 file or the podcast, we could show a happy face and a sad face, and just as Jeff does. So let's take a look at insights. What's that? So it's duration.
So we need to make sure that you never get in contact with anyone saying JavaScript, since you have a slight allergy towards JavaScript. I would say you do. Everyone else is okay with it, but...
Everyone else?
No,
else.
okay, maybe not everyone else. Most everyone else.
So this seems to be some kind of... this is kind of fun. He bold? So he bold is coding.
No.
Somehow. But if you listen to it, it does...
It's kind of distorted, and it's like vocoders and what have you. So that's our intro melody, right?
So
our
he
intros.
bold, second, that's coding after work. It's somehow, I don't know. And then before we start this episode, and all of that.
That is so interesting. He bold. Okay.
He bold. Okay, so metadata is simply information about the MP3, who made it, what episode is it, what kind of software we're using. Apparently, we're not using any software. And
JavaScript is always a love-hate relationship. It's amazing, awful due to how flexible it is. Yes, it kind of rendered itself perfect and imperfect at the same time. That is correct.
Okay, so the TTML has, as you can see, it's kind of HTML going on here. It has a body, div, p tag, begin and end, bold, and all of that stuff.
Oh, and Blazor, not Blazor.
Yeah, that's obviously gonna happen.
Which, of course, you do like, because you do C# and not JavaScript. Blazor, not the Blazor. It was a reference to the not liking JavaScript? Not the jacket.
But it says Blazor.
It did? I thought it said Blazor.
No.
Okay.
This, I believe it does.
Okay.
There, because I fixed it.
Okay. To my defense, I have 4 cables and a camera.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Rod right in the line of sight here.
So this one, I did a couple of replacements. I changed Blazor to Blazor.
Oh, so it did say Blazor.
Blazor.
Yeah, the jacket.
The jacket.
That is confusing.
And so basically, this is text file. It has a note. Note is a comment. So not going to use that. And we have, well, from this time index to this time index, it's going to show crunching historical data with data. Okay, great. So let's pop into, let me see.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
Because I know how much work it is to transcribe.
And it's definitely not 100%. It might be 80.
Yeah, but 80 is so much better than nothing.
Yeah, so we still need to go through all of these files, check them.
And we are using a lot of specialty words like Blazor instead of Blazor. And I mean, that's just how it works. But still, I'll take 80% any day. I'll take 50%.
Give me 10, 10.
Exactly.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to get all of that data into our content service. Now, there are a million ways to do this. I've chosen the simplest way. I don't want to add any databases at this point. We might have reached a point where we need to involve a database. For now, we're going to avoid that because...
As long as we can, we will avoid it.
It costs money. It's definitely not faster if we can keep everything in memory.
Yeah.
Let's try that at least. Okay, so...
It could be confusing transcribing Jeff Fritz because he has a Blazor. Yes, and it's the most amazing Blazor ever. It is very, very purple, very sparkly.
So what we need is, what we're going to do, we're going to do two things. We're going to add a search, right? So let's just do that while we're doing the other stuff. And we need to get the VTT file.
Yeah.
So that we know that it has a VTT file.
Could you scroll up a little?
I can.
Thank you.
I know exactly how to do that. I think we could.
Look at that.
So we're going to create a list. We're going to call search. Let's spell it correctly.
You can read it backwards?
Let's call it search item. Searchy item. I'm bad with naming, so I'm just going to sort of search index. Like that. And I want this to be, this is going to be something that we put stuff in. So we're not checking, is this null? That doesn't matter because it's episode and videos that's going to control that, whether or not we're going to add stuff to the search index. So we're just going to say we want a new list. And this is new, I don't remember which, I think it's C#9 that you can write new instead of new list search item. So it's a little bit
It's amazing how intelligent both the language and the IDE has gotten lately. It will figure out the most obscure things you want to do and help you with it. It's amazing.
So let's control dot.
Thank you.
Generate a class search item in a new file. Let's do that.
You did not explain what you did, why you did control dot.
Because I wanted to see the menu.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So in the newly created file, search item, I'm going to make that public. And I'm going to add a couple of properties. I'm going to add property string called ID. We're not going to, actually, let's just do name.
It suggested a name.
We're not going to have name, we're going to have a title. But
close enough.
I'm okay with that. It saved me a little bit of time. Going to have a public double with the start time. So the start time when...
It's just helping you. It knows.
Tab, and we're done. Stream is over.
Yeah, I did say it's amazing nowadays.
So I'm going to differentiate the search information by video or audio. Not because I have to, but it's...
Not because you can.
So I chose between saying that it's a YouTube video or it's a podcast. But I'm going to say audio and video.
Yeah.
That's easier.
But that makes more sense.
I think we need to rename.
We have a lot of things we need to rename in this project.
No. Yes, don't help me now. Okay, we can do this. Let's do it like this. We're going to create.
Could you scroll up again?
No.
Thank you.
No. And we're going to call this one media type enum. Like that. And we're going to have video and audio.
They suggested that, but you opted for audio.
And we're gonna.
But it sounded more fun.
It did, right? Media type. Now, I'm not a fan of having things in the same file, so let's see if Visual Studio can help us. Control dot. Move type to media type enum. Let's do that.
It just picks it up and makes a file of it.
I know, right?
I mean, come on.
And then we're going to have a string with text. So that's the text that we are going to be able to search. So that's whatever text that may be. So I thought about how to make this the best possible way. So I said that, hey, we're going to have a search item. And we're going to have, for a podcast episode, we're going to have one search item for the title, one search item for the description, and then we're going to have one search item for every text cue in the transcription.
That is a lot.
Yeah, but luckily there's for loops.
Okay, bring on the for loop then.
So we're going to create another enum. And this one is not going to be called media type enum. It's going to be called search type enum. Like that.
Can you scroll up again?
I can.
Thank you.
And in there, we're going to have title. Because, as I mentioned, the title. We're going to have description. And we're going to have closed caption.
So that's basically our transcription.
That's our transcription. I wasn't sure about what I supposed to name it, but closed caption is what YouTube uses, and so I thought, hey, why not? Let's go for that one. All right, so now we want to move this into a separate file. What do we do?
Control dot.
Control dot. So there is a story behind why I'm not an asshole. That's not what's going on.
I was following a tutorial when I tried to learn C# back in the day, and I think it was for a Windows Phone or app or Windows 8 or something. So it's a while back, and I was following this tutorial to a T. And I mean, literally everything they did, I did. And for some reason, mine didn't compile, but the person's did. And I even paused the video trying to read the code on screen, and nothing. It was identical. And I think I spent the better part of a day. And then Jimmy comes home and he just pressed Control dot and it's done. So what had happened was that the speaker off stream, it wasn't showing the desk.
Well, I think, yeah, exactly. He did Control dot enter, but it was too fast to.
We could only see his screen, not him. So we only saw the screen, and he didn't say that he did that. So I was missing a using statement, I think.
Yeah.
And I later gave him that feedback, and he now is very good at saying that. And no, it was not Jimmy. He just thought it was very fun because you could save the project in 1 second, and I spent half a day on it. Yeah. But I'm not bitter.
No, not at all. Okay, so what I did notice something while I was testing our project, and that is that the link to the podcast is HTTP.
Okay.
But there is an HTTPS
Available
URL that we can use. So I just do like this. I'm going to put a replace, and I'm going to replace HTTP there, like that, with HTTPS.
So why do we want to switch that out?
HTTP is secure.
S.
Yeah. Did I say it?
Yeah.
HTTPS is secure.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. I wouldn't.
Not for us, at least.
No, I mean.
But better safe than sorry.
Yeah, if you're working at a bank or something like that, you need to take care of all of these things. But what happened was that the web browser said, "Oh, this is something that is not secure."
Right,
well, I'm still gonna download it, but I'm gonna nag about it.
Yeah.
So let's just.
We
go
don't
for
like nagging.
Yes. I almost did it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back just and take a look at what's happening, so we are all caught up. So when we are getting the episodes, if it's null, then we're gonna pop into our libsyn feed, pull that to the server, parse through all the items, and then return all of the episodes. So at this point down here, we have all the episodes. So what we want to do now is that we want to check whether or not we have a VTT file and put that into the podcast class. So let's start with that one. Let's go in and just add a string here. Prop string.
Can you
yes,
scroll up?
I can.
Thank you. Very discreet.
And what did we call that one? Web VTT, like that. So it's simply going to get, and actually we're going to have that a question mark there, so it can be null. Because if we don't have anything, we want it to be null. All right, so let's go back here, and we're going to add a NuGet package. Go in and manage NuGet packages. And this one is called, let's see, Subtitles Parser, I believe.
Yeah, there's the one.
This one. I'm going to pull that one down. And he's done basically all the work for us.
That is very handy. And also the beauty of NuGet packages.
Now I'm assuming that this is a guy called Alex, but that's not necessarily true.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
And look at this. Look at this. We're not running the latest .NET.
We're not running the latest .NET? The horror!
I know.
Are you embarrassed?
I am. So let's do that while we are in here as well.
You don't have to run the absolute
Take that
latest.
back.
My computer doesn't always run the latest versions of anything.
Take that back.
Sorry. Confession on stream.
So let's create a parser. And this parser is a new subtitle parser, classes, parsers, and we want a VTT parser.
Yeah,
because
that makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know if I like the new Visual Studio or not, because it's like tap, 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 tap.
Your days have gone from type, tab, to
tap,
tap, type.
We're going to go through all the for each. We're going to for each over all the episodes. That was what I'm going to say. So we're going to say for each P in
P
episodes.
as in episode. You did say you were bad with naming.
Program?
Podcast.
Podcast. That's why I did that.
Okay, that makes sense. See, that's why we should use real names for stuff.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add all the stuff to our search index. So search index.add. And we're going to add a new, and this is one of the kind of nice things with the I think it's C#9. I don't know. With one of the later versions of C# is that I don't have to write search item.
No.
I can just say I want a new thing, because it already knows that it's a list of.
Are you missing a semicolon or a parenthesis?
Yes, I'm not done.
Okay, sorry.
There we go.
It bugged me.
I could almost tell. Let's do it like that. It's easier to read. So we're gonna have ID, and the ID is going to come from p.id.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Then we're gonna have the media type, and since we're looping over podcast, we already know that one. So that's gonna be the media and enum audio.
Yep. Right.
We popping in the title as well. So p.title. This is kind of bugging me. It's
too helpful.
Too helpful. And let's search. What am I missing? What did I call it? Did I call it something else?
Well, naming isn't your strong suit. We already established that.
Did I miss search item? I did miss it. I created the search type enum, but I didn't add it.
There you go.
Search type enum and search type.
No wonder it didn't find it.
So let's go for search type equals search type enum dot, and this one let's do the title first. So this one is title. I love how all three is star. So now I have 6 items that could have been 3.
Why is there
star? Is because like it's helping me that you probably want these.
Yeah, these are our top choices for you.
Yeah.
But it's also just a duplicate of whatever it's on the list. Yeah, that's a little odd. It's good though if you have long lists, but short lists make no sense. But hey, it's helping, so
it's trying.
Yeah.
And this is red because this is a GUID and this is a string, so we need to tell it that I want that as a string. So what we have is start time. If it's finding the title, the start time is going to be 0 because it's the start of the file. We're adding the title as a text as well. So now we can do this all over again. This time we are saying with the text we want is the description.
Yeah.
That I apparently didn't add either.
Oh, really?
Did I? No. It's called content.
Whew. Nice save.
And the search is the
description.
No, sorry. This the title should still be the title. The text should be content.
Okay, so walk me through that again.
So when we are listing all the search results, we want it to be able to list the title.
Okay. Yeah.
And we want it to search in the content. Now, we do have another thing that we want to add as well, and that's the URL. So I thought about that, though where do we put the URL? And I came to the conclusion that we're going to do that inside of the search item. Because I don't want that code to be at many places. I want it to be in one place. This is the absolutely best place to put the code like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't like to replicate or reuse stuff all over the place.
I like to reuse stuff.
Yeah, reuse stuff, but not duplicate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, let's create
and that makes sense.
A property called
Could you
URL.
scroll up?
I can scroll up.
Amazing.
And get setter, are they called get setters? Getter? I don't know.
Get getters?
So what we can do here is that we can say return, and then we can use the different things that we want to switch between. So the different, this could have been a bunch of if statements, but there's a way to do this a little bit nicer with using a switch statement. So I'm going to have media type. I want to switch over that one, and I want to switch over search type. So these are the two things that will affect the URL. And we're going to type switch like that, and a couple of brackets. So now we can say that. So what kind of values do we want to switch over? So the first one we want to switch over is media type enum. Help me, Visual Studio. There we go. And it's going to be audio, because we're not going to be able to make, we're not going to be able to do the whole YouTube thing today, I think.
No.
So we're going to do audio, and the search type is going to be closed caption. It's not helping me. Oh, it's
because you were a little trigger happy.
There we go. So we're saying that if it's audio, if media type, let's use my pen here. If media type is audio and search type is closed caption, then we want it to return something.
Yeah. And
we want it to return a string. And that string is going to be /episodes, because that's the URL we have.
So coding after work, and then we add the /episodes.
Yeah. / and then we want to add the ID. And since all of this is inside of that the search item class, we can just refer to ID here. So we don't have to.
So we don't even have to know it.
No. Well, we do know it.
Well.
And then we add t equals, which is the way we can get into a specific time stamp on the episode. And then we add a couple of brackets again. There we go. Sorry about that. And we're going to convert it to an int, and I will come back to that in just a second. We're going to say start time divided by 1,000, like that. Okay. So what is happening? Well, start time from the VTT library, the parser we got, is in milliseconds. But the information that we use is in seconds. So we're not going to be able to send in any
unconverted numbers.
Yeah, so we need to send in an int, basically. So we're saying start time divided by 1,000, so we're going to get seconds. but we're going to get seconds with decimals. So there are two ways of doing this. So we can say convert to int 32 and send in the value. But what's going to happen then is if the value is 1.5, we're going to get 2.
Oh, right. And
so
that's not
then
good.
We're going to miss the segment completely, perhaps.
Yeah.
So by using cast here, so we're going to say that I want to cast this value to an int. It's just going to cut off the decimals. So we're going to get 1.5 is going to become 1. So we're going to get a little bit earlier than...
Rather than late.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because it's at max 1 second.
But this means that we could send someone, like you say something funny, and I can send them to that exact second in the podcast.
Yes.
That is pretty cool.
So the next one is going to be still audio, but we're going to say description instead. And in that case, we are not going to need all of that. We're just going to send it to the episodes, the ID of the episodes. And same thing with title. Like that. Now, the last one, we are going to say if it's not any of these three. So we have all the items for podcasts. We only have 3 ways of searching. We have closed caption, description, title. So we got all the eventualities for a podcast. So the other thing is YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have any time index. We don't have a way to handle that in any other way than just going directly to the episode at this point. So we're simply going to say that if it's not any of these, this is the default value. The default value we want to be /YouTube.
Okay, because that's where we are listing all our YouTube videos.
Yes. And, sorry, not an @ sign. That should be a $sign. And /ID. Like that. Let's see, did I get that? Yes. And so, if we got a podcast, we got 3 ways of accessing that podcast or search that podcast. If it's not a podcast, it's the YouTube.
Yep.
It's the YouTube link. Great.
And we're going to handle that another time.
Yes, I think we're actually going to be able to do a little bit of YouTube, but if we want to have YouTube support all the way, we need to download VTT files from YouTube, and that's a whole other story.
Yeah. For now, we're stopping at this.
All right. So we got the search information for title and audio, and now we need to create a file name. Oh, that's not what I want to do. File name. So we want to be able to find that folder in this case. So if we pop up here, so we want to find the folder episodes, Coding After Work episode 57. So we do that by using path dot get file name, and we are sending in p.link. So that's not what I want to do. p.link. What is up with this one? P.
Won't help you?
That's a P. Get file name. Oh, sorry, I'm outside of the loop here.
There's your problem.
Inside of the loop, apparently. So P link. So we're getting the link now. That link has dashes, underscores, all of that stuff. So we're going to replace those with, let's see here, those with that, that. And we're going to do that for underscores as well. Replace underscore with nothing.
Yeah, so we can get that truncated URL.
Yeah. Or actually just file name at this point. And then we have a var vtt URL. So this one is going to be a episodes. So this episodes is not the same as the episodes folder or a component that we have. This is the folder inside of the www root folder.
Okay.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, well, that's good to be clear.
So we're going to put in the file name. We got in the row file name. And transcript.vtt. Because all of the files are called transcript.vtt. It's just a folder that differs. Now, we can go in and we can check file.exists. And we can check whether or not this file exists. So this is not going through the internet. It's going to talk on the box, if you will. So in this case, we need to say www.root/vtt URL. Like that.
Okay.
Because we need to find the www root folder. If we're going from the internet, /episodes is enough.
Yep.
And that's why we will come back to that in a bit, but that's why we are separating the values here. Then we can say using file stream. Come on. File stream. There we go. It knew about it. Actually, that's not how you do that. You do it like this. Var file stream.
Well, it was close.
I always need to check this syntax because I never remember how to do it. Open read.
Well, some things never stick and some things sticks with you forever.
Yeah. So using, so we're going to get a file stream. We're going to open the file. And we need to add one of those as well. Okay, so I'm going to get the queue items. Let's see, var queue items. So the queue items is every subtitle. All of those you saw with the time index. That's queue items.
That's a lot.
So we're going to say parser dot parse stream. I'm going to send in the file stream. And I'm not sure about the encoding, but I'm assuming it's UTF-8. That's at least what I'm going to go with.
We're going to try that one.
I think I need to add a little bit of namespacing.
Which you did with control dot.
It's all true.
I know. Now it's one of my favorite things.
So now we can go for each var. Let's call it C. In queue items, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then we're going to, let's just pop up here. Let's copy this one, because this is basically what we want to do. We're still in podcast, so still audio. Search type is now closed caption. The content is c dot text.
It would be great if you remember.
Lines. So we got multiple lines in there. I think so. There, it's possible to add multiple lines inside of one timestamp.
Okay.
But we're going to keep it very, very simple for this. We're going to just say string.join. So it's going to take all of those strings inside of the, and it's going to add a, let's do a new line. So it's going to take all of those lines, put them together in one line, or multiple lines, but with the new line.
Yeah, with a new row in between.
Why is this too many?
Is it giving you squigglies?
I used the wrong one. There we go. And the start time is c dot start time. So there we go. So we're getting all of that goodness here. We're taking the ID, still audio, the title is still the same, closed caption instead, getting all of the lines, the text lines, and the start time.
Mm-hmm.
Right, let's see what I forgot to do now. Yes, I forgot to do one thing. So we're getting the VTT URL here. And we want to, down here, say P, which is the podcast, because that makes sense. Web VTT and VTT URL. I'm going to set that to that. Is that the right place? No. So I will only want to set the VTT if there is a VTT file. So we're going to check, is there a VTT file? Then set it.
Okay. Yep.
Great.
What else? What else?
What else? What else?
What? This is kind of building up to be a really cool feature.
So let's take a look if I did a little bit of work with this one as well, and I did not check that in either.
Oh, really? It was not a good day for checking in stuff, right?
I'm fairly sure that I'm not going to dox myself this time.
So we can watch you check in.
Yeah, we can watch me check that in.
Yeah. So say hello to the computer in the other room.
I have a little bit of code up here. So these files, I want to stage them. Added audio component. Let's see if this works.
Kind of funny that you're checking in code from one computer in the room next over to this one. But it's amazing that it works so fast, though.
Yeah, let's see if we're getting into...
Any conflicts?
Yeah. I think we got it.
Those are always fun. And with fun, I mean no fun.
What I did was that I created... So we had a Blossom audio.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to delete that one.
No.
Boom. Because I added a Blossom audio video components instead. It's the same component, but I now have the ability to switch between video and audio.
In the same file.
Yes. Because these two elements are so similar. They basically have the same APIs. I'm not sure if they differ, to be honest. The audio doesn't have a way to show Q files or subtext, but the video does, and video can handle audio. So we're going to switch to a video tag instead.
Okay.
So let's I can show you a little bit of what I was doing here. I added a caption because the first iteration that I did, I wanted to you add the VTT files to the audio tag. The audio tag then can send all the updates when it's changing to Blazor. So that was what my original thought, that the audio tag is going to do a little bit of JavaScript, send a request back to the .NET code, and the .NET code is going to get that queue, and you will be able to show it on the page. So the problem with that is that we're running Blazor server.
Yeah.
And running Blazor server is going to have that JavaScript. That JavaScript is then going to do a SignalR request back to the server. The server is going to say, oh, hey, awesome, something changed. Gonna render that, change that in the render tree.
I see where you're going with this.
And push that back into, over SignalR again, into the page. And since this is like changing not every second, but even smaller amount of time. This is going to be a lot of traffic.
We are talking milliseconds at some point. Oh, wow. Okay, that would be a lot of data traffic. Let's not do that.
So
Good thinking.
This component has the abilities to, if I say has captions, it's true, it's going to, when it's, let's see if I can find it here. If it has captions, it's going to set up track events, which is the queue changes. But we're not going to use that because that is really not good. We also have, here's the JavaScript invocable, which is the event that the JavaScript can call back to the .NET code and changing the queue text in this case. But again, not doing that. But that would be something that we could think about when if we're going to use WebAssembly instead, because then it's just going to be on the web browser pushing back and forward. So that's an option. So we're going to go into the episode page here. So the Blossom audio doesn't exist anymore. I'm going to say video.
All right. But audio video.
Yes. And the default is video. So we can send in, I believe it's, what did I name it? Type. That makes sense. Help me. Oh, Blossom. There we go. It's audio or video, but the default one is video, so we don't need to add that one. And this is when this is done, this component, this is going to be part of the Blossom components.
All right.
So let's take a look at what we're doing here. So it's kind of cool because we need to do a couple of things. So the Blossom audio video component has, let me show you, additional attributes. And it has, let's see where that one is. I could probably do an F12. There we go. So it's a parameter capturing unmatched values. So whatever I type that is not a property or a parameter in the component, it's just going to send through.
Okay.
So if you take a look here, I have controls, for example, that is going to show you the play button and stuff like that. And it's just going to take that and send that into the audio or the video control. So I can do that with a poster as well. So poster is something that is very hard to spell. Poster is what the video tag is showing before it loads the video.
Okay.
Or if it's only audio, it's the thing that it's going to show instead. So in here, we're just going to grab the...
So basically a thumbnail of sort.
Yeah. So we're just going to grab the episode image here. We're going to remove the image because we don't need that anymore.
No, because we're getting it from... that one.
And in the, let me see here, in the audio, Blossom video audio, we also have a CSS. So it's going to say that the video tag is going to be 400 pixels. Now that's a little bit off compared to what we had before. I think we had 400, but we had a little bit of padding and stuff like that. I'm sorry. This is the way we're going. We need to fix that maybe later.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Now,
don't mess with my CSS.
This one is super odd.
Why?
Because there's no way to set where we want the text in the box.
Oh, really?
It's not entirely true, but there's no way to do it with CSS, as far as I found.
Okay.
So the cool thing is that in the VTT file, you can set the position, but then you have to do it on every single element, every single cue.
That is hundreds and hundreds.
I'm sure there's an automated way to do it, but this is the way I found that is...
I am not a fan.
I am not a fan either.
Okay, if anyone knows how to fix this, please let us know.
But let's just not do a whole thing about it. Just keep it simple.
Yep.
That's what
For now, better done than perfect.
Yeah.
Trying to mantra that.
What I also did was that I moved the JavaScript to the same position, the co-located JavaScript. So it's so the component, the CSS, and the JavaScript lives at the same place. So apparently it says, okay. So it's using a couple of it has a reference, it sets playback rate and stuff like that. So we need to make sure it's a Blossom audio video there as well. And I am not okay with things named that is not reasonable. So there we go.
Like, what? We just had a whole what do I mean with a P? So, yeah, okay.
This is code.
Yeah, carry on. Carry on. I'll accept it.
Okay, so we also need. So the cool thing with the whole component thing here is that the source here is just going to take the source. It's just going to print that on the page, and the audio or the video control is going to take over. So in the case of the VTT file, I'm just going to be able to say that if episode dot
It's not helping you again?
VTT file, web VTT is not null, then I want you to write out the track, which is the Q file, basically. So default, this is the default track, that's great. And we're going to say source equals, and we're simply going to grab this one over there. There we go. So we're saying if we do have a VTT file, show it or add it.
Yep.
So let's see what's happening now. We're almost running out of time, but I think we might be able to make it.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I wouldn't put it past us. Okay, so let's click here. There we go.
We have a podcast.
We have this one.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if this is new or not, but do you remember the whole thing that when I talked about playback speed? I built a component basically just because I wanted to have playback speed.
Yeah.
You see these 3 dots here?
No.
Playback speed.
No.
I can change the playback speed here.
That must be new because the other one We only because we had a lot of discussion, and we had a discussion with a couple of friends as well on stream about some services only gives you like half the speed or 1.5 times the speed, and you had certain amounts of speed. Can you set the exact amount of speed here? And they never go past 2 or 3.
That's still true.
Yeah, okay.
So
we still have the accessibility angle here because from what we understand, the people we have talked with that actually uses these types of features, they have trained themselves to listen in super speed if you compare to me. And usually you can't go up to 4 or 5 times the speed, but if we do use your component, we are able to do that.
Yes. So it's still
so it's not
valid.
completely
it's still valid.
At a loss.
What you didn't see was that we didn't get any captions.
Oh,
and that's because we need to make sure that Visual Studio is copying these files as well to the end result. When it's compiling.
So I think I am in the way for that.
So we are saying that the copy to output directory, copy if newer. That's what we're doing for all the files. Let's see if this works.
Because I'm sitting in Visual Studio. Okay, so let's see. Episode with Oren.
No, it's not working.
No?
Why isn't this working?
Is it cached or something?
Let's try that. No.
Don't cache our stuff.
Okay, let's see here. We got those there. Let's maybe.
Come on, give us some captions.
Let's see here. Let's pop into the content service. Let's stop there and debug. Friendly neighborhood debugger.
Yeah.
So does this file exist? Let's see here. Episodes, coding of the work. Look at that. MP3. We don't want MP3. So I think I forgot to get out of the way. So I forgot to, when we are parsing the get file name, it's actually supposed to be get file name without extension. Right, so I'm feeling brave. Let's not debug anymore. Okay, so we're going to click this one and
nothing. So back to debugging.
Back to debugging. Okay, let's do that. And let's see what's happening here.
Do we have transcriptions?
So let's see here. Episodes, coding of the work, episode 61. I think this is correct.
We do have a episode 61.
True. It's
okay.
There. We got episode, that one. Sometimes.
Sometimes what?
Sometimes you just need to be a little bit like clean solution. Build everything.
Yeah.
And try again.
Okay, let's hope. Let's see. No!
Still nothing.
Give us transcriptions!
So what are we doing wrong? Let's take a look at what it's outputting. Did we do something wrong here? A video, we got a poster, we got a source, we got... What is up with this one? Oh. Because I'm an idiot.
You just had a oopsie when you thought.
Okay, so I need to have an @ sign here because...
Oh, so it knows that you're going in and out of code.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one needs to be named source and not the other thing, whatever it was.
Skr.
Skr.
Okay,
right,
so do we have captions now?
No.
No!
Still. Okay.
We are so close now.
So episode, if episode, let's build
Is
again.
that how code sounds in your head?
Yes.
Pa-pa-pa-pa-pa.
Still nothing. Let's take a look here.
What do we get? So you're using the F12 to get the developer tools in the browser.
So it says episodes. Ah, got it.
Well, you said that last time.
Because if I take the URL here,
yeah,
and I paste it up here, it says not found. And now you're asking, why does it say not found?
Why does it say?
So we need to tell Visual Studio, or Blazor in this case, what files that are okay to deliver. So
it's kind of a safety feature.
It's a safety feature.
That is okay that they're stopping files.
So we need to pop into Program and use static files. So here, for some reason, we need to run that twice.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
So we need we're var provider, and we're going to create a new file extension. No, not helping. Fine. I'm just gonna say like Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself. File extension. Content type provider.
Okay.
Let's see. There we go.
If you got that one right, I will be a little bit impressed, because your keyboard skills live are not the best.
No. And just like that, I'm typing wrong.
Gibberish.
Let's,
You're just trying to prove me right.
So we're saying that .vtt files, we want to set a MIME type for that one. So it's going to be text, small text / VTT, like that. And then we're going to add that provider to, let's see here, we're going to have a new static file options, content type provider, like that. So we're saying that we want to use static files. We wanted to have this particular provider saying that VTT files is fine. You can deliver those. But if I didn't have this one, it would stop delivering JavaScript and CSS and stuff like that. I have no idea why. So I searched the internet and they say, add it again.
So, okay. So we are using 2 of them, because why not?
Why not? Okay. So do we have look at that.
Finally,
captions.
We have captions.
So now we're not going to be able to hear my computer. You are not going to be able to hear my computer. But
we just have to trust the computer.
Yeah. So now it's music, coding. No, bowling.
Right, because
let's pop in a little bit. So there we go.
Oh, look at that.
And this is running
to happen.
HTML, just ordinary stuff. It has nothing to do with Blazor for this particular feature.
Look at that.
And if we speed up to listen to it in normal speed, you'll see we will still get all of that goodness.
And it keeps track of that. That is pretty cool.
Funny enough, this particular MP3 is iffy in some way, because if we jump into the episode a little bit, the text is out of sync.
Oh, really?
I don't know why, but it
Okay.
is. With the other ones that I've tested, it works fine. So it's something iffy with this one,
Okay.
but it works. Okay, so we are on time. Should I just quickly do the search page as well?
Yeah, do that. You did put it in the
I did, right?
in our 90-minute sprint.
So I'm simply gonna take the episodes page because we're gonna get a little bit for free.
You're copying it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna name it search. I'm not going to, in the end, I'm not gonna put this in the menu or something like that because it looks horribly. That's what I'm.
But
what
we
I'm
can
aiming
still
for.
use the search result and utilize that in a nicer way, maybe.
So let's see here. We got our. I need to find my cheat sheet. There it is. Okay, so if episodes is null, we're not gonna have anything that is null. So we can remove that. We are not gonna have any episodes. And we're not even gonna have anything, we're not gonna load anything from the beginning, so we don't need that either. And we're gonna have a div. We're going to, I'm gonna use page content here, which is probably wrong, I don't know.
Well,
it works.
Again, naming isn't our strong suit, so we need to go over the CSS file again and fix that.
So just to reiterate, I'm trying to say. I copied the file to get kind of these lines.
You did more work deleting stuff than the effort you had to put in to type 5 rows of stuff. Okay.
This is how I roll.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so we're going to add an edit form. Now, an edit form is basically, in the end, it's going to be like an HTML form, but it adds a little bit of extra features for us. So,
I like extra features.
Valid, submit, do search. So we're going to run the method do search. We're going to come back to that. Input text, that's the search input text, obviously. And we're going to bind that to something called value. Not twice.
Just one.
Just once. I'm going to create a class in just a bit. Text. So we're going to bind the input text to some variable called search value. And we're going to say model equals that same class as well. Let's do that. Let's create that class. Public class search value. Actually, it's going to be called search term. The class is going to be called search term. Like that. And in there, we're just going to have one. Oh, I haven't fixed that yet. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll do it myself.
Twice? In one stream?
You're not okay with me quoting Marvel?
I am. I'm just in shock.
We're going to create a class, search term. It has only text. That's the thing we're going to search for. We are not going to... we're not going to put this in a separate file because this is only used in this particular file. So I'm fine with that. Going to have a public list with our search items. No, just one. And we're going to call it search result.
Now we're get setting it.
Now we get setting. And we're going to create a new one just because it's easier that way. Search term. And this one we're going to call search value. Need to change the names because I couldn't name it search term because then it's going to refer to the class and everything is going to blow up.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Get set, and we're going to create a new one of that one as well. Like that. And then we're going to have our friendly public search.
Can you scroll up?
It's going to be
Thank you.
Do search.
Yeah, and that's the one you said above.
Yes. And we're simply going to say search result equals service. No, service. Dot get search results. We haven't done that one just yet. And we're going to send in the search value dot text. So we're simply going to call our service and get that result back, which we haven't built yet. So that's
on the to-do list.
On the to-do list, but we're going to do that in just a second. But first, we want to list our search results. We're going to say for each var s, because it's a search result. In search
You're so bad.
result. And let's go for an H3 because those are nice.
And also, it's very good to use the real tags for that instead of just showing the text in a div and setting the size there. It will also help with the accessibility.
So we're going to just go with the URL because we're going to get that from the search result. Just showing the URL. We want the text to be something like, let's go for the episode title, simply put, like that. And if s.searchType equals, no, not 1 equal, 2 equals, closed caption. So if it is closed caption, we want it to also show the text. Wasn't it called text? Oh, sorry. Text. Like that. So if we are getting a hit back with a closed caption, we're going to show that line so you can see, oh, okay, they're talking about this or that. It makes sense to me, at least. And let's just add a s.search type here as well, just to show you what we're hitting. What we probably don't want to have that on the final version, but for demoing purposes. All right. So let's see if Visual Studio is our friend. So we can just say control dot use expression body. This is not what I want to do. Okay. Sometimes you could have created the method in the service just by doing that.
Okay.
But let's.
But not today.
Not today. Maybe not in Visual Studio. Maybe that's the plugin. I don't know.
Works on my machine.
Okay, so public list. I need to public list we want to give back search items. We called it get search results, and we're taking in a string. No, string.
Close
Read
enough.
that backwards. Search term.
Topic of today. If you misspell stuff, read that backwards.
Like that. And simply put, we're just going to return search index, which is where we all have all the search thingies, dot where. So let's take an arbitrary letter.
Is it S?
It's S.
As in search?
So text dot contains search term. And we want it to make sure that it's, let's see here, invariant culture, ignore case. So we want it to, it doesn't matter what culture it is, we want it to ignore upper and lower case letters. We just want to, in the simplest way, search this text and return whether or not it's a
match.
It's a match, yes. Now,
can you scroll up? Thank you.
What we also want to do, let's say that I'm searching for, we have a show with John Skeet, for example. So I'm going to say Skeet or John. It's going to find John and Skeet in the description, in the title, and it's going to find it in the description. And it might find it even in the text.
The captions.
Captions.
Yeah, it will, because we are saying welcome, John Skeet.
And in the captions, I think it's okay to have duplicates. But if it's in the title and the description, it's kind of like, I don't need to have two links linking to the same thing.
Yeah, okay, I got it. So we don't have to show the search result twice if it hits the same episode.
If it's
in the title.
The same position in the file.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that group by, and I'm going to group by the URL. Because the URL is the thing that is going to be either with a timestamp or not a timestamp. And we're going to select the S dot, oh, I need to do that. There we go, S dot first. So what we're saying here is that we want to group by the URL, so group them, and then we're going to take the first item out of those. And we're going to get a list back like that. So let's think for a second. I think this is it.
Let's try. Be a rebel. Run it.
I'm going to do one more thing.
Okay.
I'm going to take the search index thingy.
The thingy, is that the correct term?
That's the correct term.
Okay.
And I'm going to put that.
Are you cutting it or copying it?
I'm copying it. I'm going to put that here, I think. I think this is a good place. And I'm going to go for video.id. Title. Okay, so video.title. And
we all. Oh, right. That is the text and the title. Got it.
Like that. And once again. Oh, and change the audio to video. Like that. Video.
So this is for the YouTube videos.
This is for the YouTube videos. And
I almost saw that by you using the video here.
I think it's like that.
Okay.
So I just took those those
chunks
two chunks, and put them when we are indexing the videos from YouTube.
Okay.
So let's see here. Let's run
Okay.
Oh, and I debugged it. Sorry about that. It'll take a little bit longer. Hey, we might need it. I don't know.
Yeah, we never know.
So something went wrong.
See, we did need the debugging.
Oh.
Or
I had a breakpoint.
So we did
what went wrong? What went wrong?
Well, you broke it on purpose.
There we go. Let's see here.
Okay. Will it run?
There we go.
Okay.
Slash search.
All right.
Boom.
We get
I think I forgot one thing. I need to stop it. I'm sorry.
Okay, what did you forget?
To add a button as well, so that we can trigger the search.
Oh, well, that would be good.
So this is just going to be button, type, submit. Like that. And let's call it search. There we go. So let's try it again. And we go to the search page.
And we got a search.
Let's do it. Let's search for John. Boom. John
There
Speaks.
we go. You found him.
There we go.
Hey, there's even a picture of us with him.
We don't have any subtitles for John's show. So let's go back. Let's go.
Oren.
Let's try Oren. Let's see if. Still only one. Maybe it's not. Didn't find that. Jimmy, I know, is in the closed captions.
Yeah.
So maybe it's didn't get the name correctly.
Yeah.
So you see here, Jimmy is also allowed to see the result. So if I click this one, I will jump in 10 minutes into the episode. If I play it, so Jimmy is allowed to see the result.
Oh, look at that.
It's kind of cool, isn't it?
It is. It is pretty cool. You know how many mistakes I can point out like this? Or just fun bits. But yeah, I do get why you said we couldn't publish the search page because it looks horrendous.
Yeah. And you know what we can use this for?
What? Marvel or DC, so I can show how many times Marvel has won over DC.
Actually,
so for those of you
kind
who
of horrible, DC is apparently not the search term to use here.
No, but for those of you who haven't listened to our podcast, we always ask the question if the guests prefer Marvel or DC, and Marvel is winning by a landslide.
Let's click this one. Let's see what it says. That sounds good. Let's see here.
One of our most important question is Marvel or DC?
So what does it say?
He is a Marvel person. He must be, right?
Actually, I think
I'm the Marvel person.
Actually,
that's me. Okay,
then.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so we need to go through the files. It's not 100%,
but I do have a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
With most of the results, actually. I need to update it, but I do have a spreadsheet because that's how I roll. I like spreadsheets.
Okay, so let's pop into our board. Sprints. Show live. I did show live.
You did.
I don't know if that should be in.
Well, now it is. So
it is live now, so that's good. We used it for the first time. That one is done. We added transcriptions, even though it's an ongoing. We need to add more transcriptions, but we added that.
That functionality.
Yeah,
we added,
and we did add search.
Yeah.
Boom.
There you go.
So we got a search. We got search description, titles, and closed captions. And we got to show closed captions as well.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. Imagine the things we can do with this. I approve.
I did test, like, let's go for search. Let's go for Blazor. Do you think we talked about Blazor before?
But most of it was Jeff Fritz.
Oh, look at this. Here. Planning, designing, and coding.
Hey,
So
that's a video.
We're getting the YouTube results here as well.
Yeah, that's a video. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah. We have, let's take Stacy, for example.
Yeah, she's been...
We have episode 47. We got public speaking. And,
yeah, that's the video.
Yeah, and how it really works, how to really work as a team. That's also a video.
Yeah, that's a stream we did with Stacy.
Yeah. So we're getting all of the results.
That's cool. I can work with that. That's pretty cool. Great. So we're done with this sprint.
Yeah. 20 minutes over time, but hey.
Yeah, we still made it. Isn't that how real life sprint works? Either you have to cut like half the stuff you planned, or in some cases they just, well, scrum butt, as I call it.
Definitely.
Because they smell.
Let's pop back to our view here. So thank you so much for joining us.
It's been fun.
And hopefully next week. That's the plan.
Right. We need to work some magic on the page. We still have some loose ends to fix
Still
up.
got a lot of features.
Yeah, we do.
We got a lot of things that we need to correct and a lot of new features to add.
Yep. So let's do that.
All right.
See you next time.
Bye.